Okay, so we're thinking about our posture. And as we did before, I'm going to be talking quite a bit about the feet because the feet are really important for the whole of our posture and our joints, of course. Obviously, ankles, knees, but also hips and shoulders. So start by bringing the feet together, make a V, tread the feet out. And we're going to start with the feet. So I'd just like you to spread the toe, lift them and spread them and bring them back down. And then bring your weight forward over your toes. Come back over your heels and then center. Come to the left, center. Come to the right and center. And then just have a sense, it's very, very subtle, of your weight coming just very slightly onto the outside edges. It's not too much like this, that would not be right. But actually, if you can see me on the screen just for a moment, I'm going to exaggerate it. But as we age, our weight tends to go inwards. And if you look at my knees, you see the position, that's putting strain on the knees. We need to lift the arches. And we do that, it's a very subtle movement, so coming away from this inside edge balance back towards the centre and slightly towards the edge. So I'm not sure, I hope you've understood that or I've explained it. It's this sense of lifting the arches and not balancing too much on the inside edges of the feet. And then lift your toes, drop them. Lift your heels, might take your hands out to the side, drop them. Just do that a couple times more. So you're rolling through the feet. And then coming back to center, visualize the feet spreading and widening and being solid and really grounding you, holding you into your support. And then have the knees, don't have them rigid, so just have them a little bit soft. Pelvis, the hips, as always, we just move forward and back till we get that optimum place where the pelvis is in neutral and there's not too much tension on the back. Because when we throw our pelvis forward, that tenses the lower back. Equally, if we throw the pelvis back. So we just want to have the pelvis, remind the pelvis where the neutral point is. And then we think about the ribs, the lower ribs, and we're not straining them, but we are creating, we're thinking of the word space. So we're creating space in the ribs. Have the tummy just very slightly in, navel into the spine. So there's a little bit of, it's not tension, but there's just a little bit of movement of the navel there. So we're waking up the core muscles. Again, we're thinking about the heart and lifting it and opening it. Just observe where your middle fingers are. So very commonly, particularly when we're fatigued, we have the shoulders slightly forward, which means the hands rest on the front of the legs. So just this very subtle movement of having the arms parallel to the sides of the legs, fingertip in line with the trouser seam, just opens up the front of the body. And then as we did from sitting, lift the chin up and then bring the chin in towards the top of the chest, lengthen the back of the neck. Roll the shoulders a couple of times, shoulder blades together. And then close your eyes just for a moment because I'd like you to feel somatically how this posture feels. So if you've had poor posture from illness, it might be that this feels weird, it doesn't feel right, but this is what we're aiming for. And as you recover, this is going to help so much with your energy and your breathing. Because ideally we talk about the posture actually when it's, what we want with the posture is to create freedom in the body so that prana can move, so the breath can move. And then visualize roots going down from your heels and your toes down, down, down into the earth. Just visualize roots going down, grounding you, and then you're breathing up your roots, up into your feet on the inhalation, drawing the breath up the back of the legs, up the spine, into the crown of the head. And then on the exhalation, the breath is traveling down from the head, down the spine, down the legs, and out through the feet. So inhaling up through the feet, up to the crown of the head, exhaling down. And then we're going to add to this with movement. So we're going to breathe in, lifting the arms up, shoulders or arms parallel to the ears. Exhale, navel to spine as we breathe out. Inhaling up, exhaling out. And we can introduce a chant if you would like, it's optional. So I'm going to introduce Shanti. So inhale up, exhale, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Twice more in your own breathing rhythm, resting out when you need to. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Inhaling up. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then with the eyes closed, just feeling the quietness of the mind as the movement and the chant and the breath begin to affect the whole system. Just allowing the mind now to become a bit more peaceful. And then when you're ready, we're going to do a modified triangle or modified Trikonasana. So I'd like you to bring your legs about one leg's length apart on your mat. Now, classically in yoga, in Trikonasana, you would be turning one foot out. But certainly in the tradition I come from, that's not considered very helpful because it can be too much strain on the hips. So we're just going to have the legs slightly apart. So Trikonasana is a side bend, a lateral bend, which is helping to open up the side of the body. So I'm going to mirror you. So I'm going to suggest you start on the right. So I'll start on my left. So all you're going to do is lift the right arm up, close to the ear if the shoulder will allow. Breathe in just to open that right side up a little bit more. And then very gently, as you breathe out, bend over to the other side. Look under the armpits just so you're not twisting. The opposite arm travels down the leg, don't go too far down, and breathe. Keep breathing. It's a bit more difficult to breathe because you've got half of the lungs compressed. Keep breathing, and then inhale, come up. Inhale again, lift up that right arm. Exhale and lower. And then just to release the body from that lateral, that side bend, just sway from side to side. And then come back to center. And then when you're ready, we're going to take that to the other side. Now, quite often, one side feels different from the other. So that's just something to observe, but not to judge. So we always have this idea of being curious in our yoga practice. So when you're ready, you're going to breathe in, lift the Left arm up, parallel to the ear, if it will go there, depending on how your shoulder is. Do modify if you've got stiff or sore shoulders. Breathe in again and lift up just to open up this left side of the body. Exhale gently over to the other side. The hand is traveling down the leg. Look under the armpits so you're not twisting. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. And then when you're ready, come out, lift up, stretch up again, lift up, exhale, bringing that left arm back. And again, just sway from side to side. And then come back to center. Observe if one side feels different from the other. And then if you would like, depending on your energy, you can take yourself through that again, or you're going to heel and toe the feet back to under the hips into Samastiti and standing Shavasana. Now, because that posture, that asana is quite strong on the lower back and the hips, we're going to do our hula hoop movement. So take your hands to your waist, take the feet slightly apart again. Your knees are going to be bent as you do this. The thing to do is to try to isolate the pelvic area. So I'm just going to show you how you shouldn't do it. So you're not moving the whole body like this. What you're doing is isolating, if you can, your hips, and you're just circling them. And as you do this, you're going to feel the lower back limbering up and releasing. It's really nice for the lower back. I mean, I'm saying it is, obviously I'm not in your body. If it doesn't feel nice, then please don't do it. So just going one way. And then taking that movement in the opposite direction. And then just imagining, coming to pause, just imagine you've got a figure 8 on the floor or your mat under you. And we're just going to draw the pelvis around that figure 8. And then take that the other way. And then come back to Samastiti. And then just enjoy shaking the body or moving in any way, or if you'd rather just stand still, but just listen to your body and feel what it needs and do whatever it is. I mean, it might be that you need to stretch more or move more. Just listen to your body. It always will tell you what it needs when we begin to bring the intuition inwards. The body has all the wisdom we need. And then coming back to Samastiti. So again, thinking about our position of our feet, our pelvis, lifting up through the ribs, navel to spine, shoulders away from the ears, back of the neck long. Close the eyes, breathing up through the feet into the crown of the head, breathing down. Now remember, I'm going to do a couple more standing poses that if you've are feeling tired and you feel you need to lie down, that's also fine, because this transition to recovery is all about not triggering PEM. So it's about pacing, and we're all different, and we're different on different days. So just listen to your body, rest out when you need to. Otherwise, we're just going to hang into a forward bend. So from the hips, I'm going to come sideways to show you. I'm going to hang down, bend the knees, and we're just going to sway from side to side. And then the arms stop. And again, just let the arms sway from side to side. And if you like, with the knees bent, you can touch the floor with your hands and just enjoy your head hanging and the sense of the forward bend. And then when you want to come out of your forward fold, you're just going to place your hands on your legs and very slowly, with the knees bent, uncurl vertebra by vertebra to come up. And then just to counterpose that, we'll take the heel of the hand into the back and we're going to lift the chest. So it's a kind of very gentle back bend as we lift the chest, shoulder blades together, and then release. And then I'm just looking at the time. I think we'll finish with a balance. I was going to do a gentle worry, but we'll do that when we come back in July. So for our balance, I think we'll do the same posture that we did last week, which was the beginning of the dancer posture. So we're going to have our right leg as our supporting leg. So if you need to come and hold something on the right, like I'm holding my chair, but you can hold a wall, just bring yourself back to Samasthiti and bring your balance to your right leg. Hold on to your support. Lift the left leg over the right. And then we're going to bend that left leg and hold around the ankle and tuck the left knee into the buttock, bringing the knees together. If you can. If you've got stiff or sore knees, obviously, please don't do this. And if you want to then go into the full balance, you're going to find a spot to focus on and you're going to lift the right arm. And breathe. My balance is not very good today. And then you can either come out of that posture, or if you like, you can then squeeze the left knee into the belly. Trying to keep your spine upright so you're not bending into the knee. And then when you are ready, gently put the, sorry, that was the right knee I meant, into the belly. Gently put that right leg down. No, left leg, sorry, I'm getting my left and right muddled. Please forgive me, it's the heat. It's taken my brain out. Because our supporting leg was our right leg, so it was the left heel into the buttock and then the left knee into the belly. And then we drop that left sole back to the floor. Take a moment or two just to observe how the right leg feels from having been strong, how the left knee feels from having done the bending. And then when you're ready, we're going to take that to the other side. So this time the left leg will be the supporting leg. So do hold onto something if you need to. And this time we're going to bring the right foot over the left. And then when you're ready, you're going to bend the right knee, hold around the ankle and bring the right foot, heel into the buttock. Find a spot to focus on the wall or the floor. And then if you would like, lift the left arm. So I'm finding it easier to balance on this side than the other side. So there's no judgment, I'm just noticing that. And then you can either bring that right sole, the foot back to the floor, or you can hug the right knee into the chest, keeping the spine upright. And then drop the foot back to the mat. Again, come to Samasthiti, Tadasana, just to allow all that information in the body to recalibrate. Again, just thinking about your posture from standing. And then when you're ready, please come down to the mat and lie in Shavasana. So that can be either with the knees bent or the legs out straight. I'm still going to do a couple more really gentle movements before we do the final relaxation. But before we do those very gentle movements, please come down and rest. So transition to recovery also means learning to rest and stop. So that what we are learning here about we do something, then we rest, we do something and then we rest. This is what we want to take this attitude off the mat. So we're not feeling driven or that we always have to push through from one thing to the next, to the next. So we want to set up a healthier pattern. A pattern in yoga is called a samskara. So I think for many of us, and I speak for myself as well, because of course I had ME for a very long time, we know that we have a personality where we want to please, fit in, push, be driven. And when we're not well, we have to learn to unpick that. And as we recover, we want to set up new, healthier patterns. And that can include learning to stop and rest, giving our systems time to recover and being kind to ourselves. So just think about what this might mean for you. And just anything that I say resonate with you. And then when you're ready, if your legs are up straight, draw the feet together. Draw one knee over the belly, then the other. And we're just going to do a little bit of movement in Apanasana. So that's just drawing the knees into the belly and we're working or moving with the breath if we can. So start by holding around the knees or under the knees, wherever is comfortable. And we're going to breathe in and let the knees come away from the belly, so the elbows straighten. And then on the out breath, the knees come in towards the belly. So we're just moving with the breath. Inhale, knees move away. Exhale, they come back. So just a few breaths like that. And if you like, on the exhalation, you can draw the navel into the spine. And then pausing, we're just going to circle the ankles. Now I'm circling mine together in one direction, but it really doesn't matter. You can do them apart and in, however you want, but just circle the ankles just to get some movement into them, because our joints become stiff when we haven't been well, we've been having to lie or sit a lot. And then in the opposite direction. And then pausing, drop the feet to your mat, heels into the buttocks, feet are parallel to the hips. Take the arms out slightly below shoulder level like a cross. And we're just going to do some gentle twisting. So we're going to start by rocking the knees from side to side. Don't worry about the breath at this point. Just let the knees rock gently. Now in a minute, we're going to take the knees over to the floor, but if that's not comfortable for you, you can place blocks or cushions there if you would like. So next time the knees come to the left, let them just rest there. And then roll your head to look over the right side. And just take some resting breaths into the twist. And then when you're ready, center your head, center your knees. Take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to take that to the other side if you would like. So the knees this time come to the right, head rolls to look over the left shoulder, and just take some resting breaths there. And then breathing in, center the head, center the knees. And then get ready for the final relaxation. So you can leave your knees bent or stretch out your legs, however you would like to rest.